After the recent string of big DC news and even bigger box office failures, dating all the way back to the very subpar Birds of Prey, DC Studios had been looking for a big box office success that they could center their new universe around and build off of. And has everyone believing that The Flash, with its incredibly high bloated budget and incredibly high expectations, would be the very movie to kick off the new regime in DC Studios. However, even after The Flash is set to release, there are still two major DC projects expected to be out in cinemas, with these projects being a remnant of the old DC regime of Walter Hamada, but supposedly taking place after the universal reset that The Flash would initiate. With these products being Aquaman 2, The Lost Kingdom, which has already been projected to be DC's biggest failure yet, and Blue Beetle, the movie which would act as an origin story for the comic book character of the same name. With the trailer for Blue Beetle dropping no more than an hour ago as I'm rewriting the script, I have some things I would like to talk about and some things I'm concerned about for this movie. For those of you who don't know, the Blue Beetle story we're getting is the story of Jaime Reyes. Reyes is a teenager who encounters an alien Blue Beetle scarab that grabs himself onto him, creating a powerful exoskeleton-like armor around his body, turning him into a superhero known as the Blue Beetle. Although the character of Blue Beetle has existed since the late 30s, early 40s, Jaime Reyes was first introduced in 2006, and his upcoming movie will cover his origin story in the new DC universe. I was personally first introduced to Jaime with Batman the Brave and the Bold all the way back in 2008, which is a video I need to get onto another time. What I can confirm, however, though, is that on paper and in the comic books, Jaime is actually quite a relatable and family-oriented character. And I don't mean in the Miss Marvel kind of way. But he just wants to help his parents get by and live a normal life. Nothing too extravagant. With his movie debut happening so soon, I'm scared that this movie will repeat the same mistakes as previous DC movies, with the movie, rather than focusing on the actual title character, going for a more family-oriented structure to lure in bigger audiences. The same was said for Shazam and Shang-Chi, and while Shang-Chi didn't do too bad at the box office, and Shazam 1 was actually pretty okay, Shazam 2 bombed, and no one is out there asking for a Shang-Chi sequel. While both movies were actually pretty okay until the mass intrusion of the family-like structure, and abandonment of the actual titular title character. And with Blue Beetle, while his comic book roots are in his family, I'm scared that they will try and make this movie about his family, rather than them just being featured characters in Jaime's actual movie. As in doing so, they would try and replicate the obvious failure of Shazam 2, which would, of course, be an absolutely terrible idea. But I gotta say, aside from my potential script complaints, this trailer looks really good. The suit looks nice, and I love how instead of it being a potential CGI mess and disaster, they went for a more practical suit that actually looks really fucking nice. The action seems quick-paced but not choppy, allowing for a clear understanding of what's happening on screen, and the humour seems to be in all the right places. From what I can see, there are serious moments in this movie between Jaime and his uncle, for example, and Jaime and his sister, that remain serious, and there are funny moments that have an obvious comedic element to them.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
Another thing would be Jaime's suit-up scene. It looks terrifying, it looks horrific, it looks incredible. I don't think I've seen a better suit-up scene in the last 5 years of superhero movies that I can generally hold up my hand and say, yeah, it was better. If the movie manages to stay clear to what this trailer has shown the suit-up scene, this might be the best suit-up scene I've ever seen, which is saying a lot for a supposedly unimpressive DC project that the old regime was trying to shit out onto screens to keep them in power just a little bit longer. Though if there is one thing besides script complaints that I'm fearful for, it would be the supposed main villain, being named as Victoria Cord. Say what you want about the actress or whatever, I believe we've seen enough B-tier villains to last a lifetime. I want a villain that comes onto screen and commands everyone's attention immediately, just through their presence alone. Though, what I got here was someone who came onto screen and made me laugh and giggle at how bad she was as a villain.
The scarab chose you, but it belongs to me.
You serious?
It's a stereotypical rich bad guy or bad girl who has a private militia that does all of their bidding and refuses to ask any questions. That's what I feel like she's going to bring to this movie. And I have a feeling instead of bringing this movie up in quality, she will only diminish it. Though, I have to take into account that this is only a trailer and not the full or final product. Many things could change, and with how recent superhero movies have been, the VFX department will be working up until the final week. And when this movie eventually does release, I could have been completely wrong about it, but who knows. But aside from that, the trailer looks really good, and you have me there. I will buy a ticket, and I will sit down and watch this movie, and I'll make a video about it. Who knows, it could be the second coming of Jesus Christ himself. Or it could be another ticket to the hellscape that is the DCEU. Okay, this is editing actually. Hi. Yeah. A few weeks ago I said that I was in the middle of making a Teen Titans video. I'm not lying about that, but I do have to say I've hit a bit of writer's block when it comes to making the script for it, due to me wanting to make it longer and more in depth, as there are 5 beautiful seasons for me to review, all in their incredible entirety. So sorry if it's coming out a bit later than it should be. It should be out over the next 2 to 3 weeks, depending on what projects come out that I'm going to want to review, or if I want to change my mind. But I do have a confirmation for the next project I'm making, which would be a School Days review. So if any of you are watching this, stay tuned for that. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye now.